Good morning. Thank you for joining me this morning at my Facebook Live. This is Jenny from Jemini Crafts. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in Brackley Market Town in the UK. And today I thought I would do something different, and that is use an example from the catalogue for today's coffee and card. Yesterday we used this set here, Have a Hoot, and excuse me, hi Jeanette, and we made these cute little cards here. So very simple stamping on these 3" by 3" cards, and I decorated the envelopes to match, and I did the colouring in afterwards, so that's on the reverse of the envelopes. So very sweet, very cute, easy to stamp, easy to colour in because it's quite a small area. So that was yesterday, which I hope you liked if you joined us. So today I'm going to step it up a little bit and do this one here. So this one introduces the dies, and you can find the example. Oh, hi Carol and Isabella, lovely to have you join me. You can find the information on page 62 of the mini catalogue if you have the new mini catalogue to hand, and it's this one here that I'm recreating. So you can buy the stamps and you can buy the dies together, or you can just buy the dies on their own. And what I like about this, if I just grab the die, is that the die that cuts out these windows here actually cuts out 3 tags. So you could say it's a tag die, and these are really lovely shape, and dinky little one there. But what's nice is it cuts it out in one go. And so what we've done is use the negative part of the cutout and then put a little bit of seam behind it, and then die cut the owls and pop them on top. So quite a different design. I've chosen to actually emboss this front layer as well to give it a little bit of interest. In the catalogue they used a white layer. I decided I wanted to step that up a little bit, so I've used shades of blue for this one. So I've got Pretty Peacock as my base and Coastal Cabana as my top layer, and then for the one I'm going to do today I'm going to use Bermuda Bay as my base, so not quite as dark, and I'm going to go through step by step. So these tags are really cute, so not only can you make the card from those, but obviously you could stamp a message on the tag. So I've used the single owl and the little message from All of Us, and added a little bit of ribbon. So it makes a really cute set. So if you need to do tags, we do have some tag kits and we do have a tag punch, but this is an additional way of doing some quick tags. One thing I thought about, as well as having your scenes behind, is that you could just put designer paper behind it. So I was in the middle of doing that. Morning, Scylla. Hi, Verity. Just before I came live, because I thought this is the paper that I used in my class in a box last month. So I thought you could just put papers behind, and this could be a sentiment, for example, and you could have it either way. Okay, you could have a bow or some detail in there, or just a die cut with some leaves or something. So just think of some other ways that you could use it. It would work that way as well. Obviously not with my flowers going in that design. But you could have a little embellishment here. You could put little photographs in. So lots of things that you could do with even just that one die. So let's get cracking. So let me show you the components that I've got ready. So this is my base card of Bermuda Bay, standard dimensions. This one I've cut down 1/2 centimetre all the way around, and then this is going to go behind this, so this is going to be my scene, and I've just cut that down a further 1/4 centimetre all the way around, just so it doesn't poke out from the side. Okay, so that's going to be my base card. I can put that to one side. So the first thing I'm going to do is actually cut out my design here, and it really doesn't matter which way you place it. Obviously I can turn this page round. I quite like it with the tab there at the top, but obviously you could reverse that and have it here at the bottom. So first thing I'm going to do is cut that out. Let me put these away. So when you're cutting these out, just keep a little box and put all your spare pieces in, so that you've got a whole series of tags ready for another time. Pop those there. Okay, so I'm just going to grab my die cutting machine. These are the other dies that you get in the set. These cut out the 3 sets of owls I'm using. These cut out the other 3 owls, and then you've got some foliage here and a little spider's web there, because obviously there's a Halloween owl in the set. Hello Molly. Hi Linda. Hi Pauline. Yes, I know, and that's one thing I like about it. I do like it. And this is, as I say, a 2-for-1, so you can cut that out and then you've got the negative as well as the actual tags themselves. And one thing we do have, I don't know if you can see that, is we have the item number stamped on the die. So if you end up with this separate and you're wondering what the set is from, you can look up that number, you can look it up online, and then you'll know which set it comes from. So I'm just going to pop my die cutting machine up here. So I'm hoping it's, I know it takes up a lot of space, but then you can see what's happening. So I have ordered our brand new die cutting machine. Fingers crossed that will be on its way this week to me. And sorry Linda. And so I'll be showing that off as soon as it arrives, of course. So this is my base plate here. I'm going to pop my die on there, on top, and I'm just going to centralize it. Obviously you could do it further down. If you had a larger card, there's nothing to stop you doing multiples of that. So you could create almost like a complete frame. But I'm just going to pop that there for the moment. Glad to have you back, Molly. I hope you had a good time over with your brother. I'm sure it was really nice to spend time with him after so long. Okay, so I'm just going to pop this through. And I'll just bring it back again because I haven't got much space at the back. Okay, so if I just move that back a little bit. So there we have our 3 tags and our cutout design. And what's nice, as you can see, is the stitching goes round the outside as well as on the tags themselves. Okay, add those to my stash. And then I'm going to emboss this. So I'm just going to take those layers out. And this is the Tasteful Textiles, but you could use any embossing folder. And what I was thinking last night is that you could use the, we have a new snowflake embossing folder. So if you're doing some Christmas snowy scenes, we've got some cute little characters in another set. You could have one in each of those, and then you could have the snow around the outside. So lots of options for that. So I'm just going to emboss this one. This is our embossing plate. Right, so let me take that out of the way for the minute. And I only put that up because normally I don't show it, and people sometimes wonder. Oh, good morning, Christine. Thanks for joining us. I sometimes wonder if you haven't seen the die cutting machine, how it all works. So there is our die cut front panel embossed as well. So I think it just adds a little bit something. As I say, you could use any combination. And if you look, on one side there's very little stitching. On the other side you can see the stitching. So just make sure, if you want the stitching to show, that that is your front panel when you put it through your embossing folder. This is Tasteful Textile. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp the characters, my owls here, and I'm just going to stamp these ones that will be die cut out, and then I've finished with the die cutting, and then I'll show you how I did the scene behind it. There seems to be a bit of an angle on my camera, but I'm not going to move it for now. Or am I? Hopefully it will be enough for you to see. So all I'm going to do is take my 3 sets of owls, ink them up in Surprise Surprise. Oh, good morning, Moretta. So these are going to be die cut. So I'm just literally stamping them on this spare piece of card. There's that one. Now the die cut cuts out these owls and the mistletoe, but what's nice is when it cuts it out, the mistletoe comes out separately. If you look on here, there's the owls and there's the mistletoe underneath, separately. And then finally my cute little owl on his own with his present. Okay, while I'm here, I'm going to stamp my Merry Christmas. This is just an offcut of Bermuda Bay. I know it's not very straight, but I'll straighten it up when I trim it down. There we go. That will do for the minute. Yes, I have to say I'm a bit of a, well, for those of you that know me, know my team, some of whom are here, thank you ladies, Bermuda Bay is my team colours, so anything Bermuda Bay, Coastal Cabana does the job. So I'm just very quickly going to colour these in, because these are the ones that are going to go on top here of my card. If I leave those components there, you can see how this is going to be made up. So I'm just very quickly going to colour those in. I did them in more detail yesterday, so if you want to hop back and see yesterday's video, you'll see the colouring in a bit more detail. So this is light crumb cake. So I'm not going to do any shading on this one, just because of time really. So just going around the edge. Obviously yesterday we did a bit more shading, for example here. They're very cute. A lot of people like owls, I have to say. Whether it's because they're an indicator of wiseness, or whether they're just amazing, stunning creatures from the wild, I don't know. So for those of you that were with me and shopped with me in July, you have some vouchers that you can use up this month. So I know there's a few of you on here. So I'll be sending you a separate email just to remind you how many vouchers you've got to spend, because we don't want you to miss out. Okay. And because these are going to be die cut separately, I'm not colouring in the branch or anything else like that, because if you see here, they die cut separately, which is why in the line image there's little breaks in the tree, so that you don't get the branch as well. It's very clever. I hadn't realised that. So just really quickly doing these. Okay, I'll do the hats, I'll do the mistletoe and the presents, and that will be enough for our purposes. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Phew! Excuse me. Hi Tracy, hi Claire. Hi Jane. Thank you, Christine. I think I'm probably getting a bit boring with my love affair with early espresso. Okay, that's a bit of the mistletoe. I've got pool party. I'm going to do the little present. And obviously you could colour these in to fit your colour scheme. A little bit of poppy parade for the hats, and they are quite tiny. So and a bit of pumpkin pie for the beaks. There we go. There we go. I'll do the feet the same. As I say, if you want to see the full-on colouring, then hop over for yesterday's. And all I want, actually, something just a little bit lighter for these eyes. Right, that will do for the moment. I'm happy with that. So what I'm going to do is die cut these out. So you find the dies. So there's the 3 sets of die. So this one cuts out the owl, so it very cleverly leaves the branch behind. This is the 2 owls with the mistletoe, and this cute little one does the 4 owls. And what's nice is it keeps them all together, so you don't end up with tiny little owls. So I'm just going to die cut that. Let me move that one out of the way. Just bring back the machine. Sorry, it's taking up a lot of space. So, just going to pop these on here, like so. And remember, when you're putting dies through, do have them at an angle. Now, these are slightly odd shaped dies anyway, but it's just kinder to your machine not to have it go flat on the larger side. Okay, just pop that in. My plates are fairly flat, so I don't feel the need to put any tape on, but if your plates are sort of buckled or anything, you might want to put some washi tape on to hold it. Okay, let me bring that out. I've finished with that now. Morning, Marianne. Okay. So here are the cutest owls. 1, 2, 3, and my mistletoe. Okay, and then that's the remains. Okay, so what I want to do now with my design is I want to create the background here. So what I have is my piece of white card, and this obviously could be coloured card, that's going to sit behind here. And what I'm going to do is centralise it like so. And then, because I want to know exactly where those gaps are, grab a pencil and then just lightly draw the edges. Okay, now I'm going to rub these out afterwards, but what I want is this almost like an index for where I'm going to stamp. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3. I'm not worried about the top part of the design. I just want to make sure that I'm stamping correctly across the main part. Actually, if I bring that to the side, that might be better. So can you see that? So I haven't pressed too hard. Okay, all I want it is for the positioning here, here and here. So let me move that one out of the way. Yes, I do like greys, I have to say. There's a definite slant on my camera, isn't there? I do apologise. I'm reluctant to correct it in case it all falls off. So if you can bear with me, let's see how we get on. So I'm inking up the set of owls first here, and I'm just going to pop them on there. Okay, so you can see where that's going to go. I've got my 2 owls together, and they're going to go on there. Okay, and then finally this one here for the little branch is going to go there. Okay, so that is my scenery, if you like, because what we're going to do is pop these up on dimensionals. So all I need to do is colour in the branches here, here and here. And if you notice, there's a little bit of blue here. So I'll show you it without any colour, and then we can decide if we want to colour the background or not. So the first thing I do before I add anything else is I'm just going to remove the lines. I mean, they should be hidden, but if you don't put any colour on the background, they might be obvious. So I have a rubber to hand, and you want to make sure you're using a good quality rubber. This is a Pentel high polymer one. You don't want to use one out of the grandchildren's craft box that's covered in all sorts. So I'm just working round. Okay. So when you do this, you just want a light touch with your pencil to start with, so you're not doing too much rubbing out. Okay. Ah, okay, yes. So there we go. So that is our basis. So that's going to frame that. These are going to go on top, and what I quite like is that these little owls sort of go over the side, but there is nothing to stop you doing a panel that way round and having oh, that's the same. No, that's not the same. Oh, so this is slightly different size to this one. I'm looking at that thinking that can't be the same. Oh dear, more coffee required, I fear. Okay, I'm just going to colour those branches in. So this is not a card you want to be making hundreds of, unless you sit and do them, you know, a step at a time. So I'm not colouring in the owls because they're going to be placed on top. It's going to do a tiny little bit here. But as I say, you could put patterned paper on some of the others and just have a sentiment. And I've just ordered the fun little snow characters, and I think these would be great in this panel as well. And obviously you could create your own panel with dies, and this is perfect because it's ready to go, it's stitched, etc. But there's nothing to stop you putting 3 or 4 dies together in a pattern. What I would do is use a thicker cardboard and create a base sort of pattern for it, and then use that as a template. Okay, so there we go. So let me show you, so you can see what I think. See what you think. So this is the design all in white. Okay, this is designed with a little bit of blue colouring in. So it just gives a softer background, in my opinion. So I hope you agree. And I do have a little sponge somewhere. And I'm just going to do, what I'm going to do is just go sort of around the whole thing with some ink. Let me see. So I've opted for pool party, but in the sample on the catalogue they go quite dark. Let me show you. So in the catalogue here, it's almost like a Pacific point underneath. But if you were doing, you could do this easily with flower images. So that would be really nice. So I'm just going to ink up the sponge. Try it on a corner. Perfect. And then, because this is all going to be hidden under the mask, just adding that little bit of colour. And you can go right the way over the owls because they're going to have the die cuts added on top. Like so. You could make this, I'll tell you what, looks stunning if you're feeling brave. Make this Night of Navy. So you had like a night scene. That would be really stunning. So I'm just going over the owls because they're going to be added on top. The same with my there. Okay. So now can you see the difference? It's just a little bit more relaxed. Oh yes, you could. Yeah, spritz the background. I like that. Bless you, Christine. Okay, and also you can make that darker again if you wished. So what I'm going to do is position that on there. Now I do know that when I created it roughly, I had that fairly central, so that should work. Okay, oops. And because that's going to be stuck inside, all I need to do is add some glue around the open edges. So you could use wet glue. Actually, I might use wet glue so that I can squish it a little bit. And also because I've embossed this piece. So the main thing is it's connected around those edges. Now I'm doing that, but on my sample here I did it with dimensionals. Yes, I did. Okay, all change because I want that height. So let's add dimensionals. Oh, here they are at the ready. So I'm actually going to do is just lift some of that off with a piece of paper. Morning, Lynn. There we go. So just use some scrap paper on there. Right, let's try again. So what I did was put dimensional sort of on these corners. Like so. Take those off as I go. It's a lot easier, isn't it? So that's what we're aiming for Lily. Oh yes, that's a good idea. Oh, Misty Moonlight, yeah. Oh, there's a definite tilt, isn't there? I'm really sorry. However, as I say, I'm not going to play because it might come off the stand altogether, and then you'll be ending up looking at my feet or something. So as long as you can get the idea from this, we're good. Okay, and then put a couple of supporting ones on, like so. There we go. Right. Take two, everybody. So, as Ruth would say, I make the mistake so you don't have to. Go. Voila. Let's get it the right way round. So I'm just hovering over really to get it in the position that I want. I could turn it over and have it do it from the back, but hopefully, yeah, that's not bad. Slightly higher perhaps than I had before, but that will do the job. Before I put the die cuts on, I'm going to pop it onto the card. So this is my Bermuda Bay card, and in my other one here I use Pretty Peacock. That's going to go on there, and this time I'm going to use my Tombow glue all the way over. Now, because this is the white is almost the right size, I'm not adding any extra around the edges. So I'm just giving that a nice border all the way round. There we go. And then the final touch is to add our cute little animals, our owls, with dimensionals. So they just sit up above here. So there's no need to colour the owls in that are on the background. As Marissa says, you could just have a plain background. You could have use some of our lovely snowflake papers. That will get you a lovely background. And then you could, as I say, you could add these or any other animals or anything in the windows. So what I'm thinking is, see these cute ones here? Excuse me. He would probably fit in there. You could have the seal and then the penguin. You could have one each there. So when one of those arrives, that's what I'm going to have a go at. So still use the dies, but change that out. Right, so these smaller ones, I use a large dimensional where it will fit, and then find my scissors. Which are here somewhere. Okay. Grab another pair. Oh, they're on the floor, that's why. Oh dear. Oh, Sam DC says that too. It might have been Sam I got it from. I know it's somebody. Oh, Sam Donald, yes. That's right. That is something she says. And this one is a smaller piece. I could use the mini dimensionals, but I can use these pieces up just as well. There we go. So that's my line of owls. Even. I'm just going to sit on top like that, and then the mistletoe. There we are. And I quite like having these popping up over the edge. Okay, let me clear that out of the way. And so here's my Merry Christmas. And I'm just going to trim that down on my trimmer, because it was just an offcut of card. You could add some ribbon on there as well underneath the Merry Christmas. Might do that. Go. That might make it a little bit smaller. And again. There we go. There we are. And I'm going to put this one on with dimensionals. Oh no, I don't have hay fever, so I don't know where that's come from. But thank you. It might be the dust in the air from the fields, if they've been doing some work on the fields. There we go. So, sweet little owls, cute as. And don't forget, you've got all of these elements as well. So all these pieces here, the tags, so all I did on this one was I obviously stamped the owl, and then I used the other one of these and then just threaded some ribbon through to make a matching tag. And obviously these are perfect for tags. You know, just run that through your die cutting machine. And what I like about it, as Linda says, it's one to put through. You're not having to line up 3. So that makes it really easy to use. So this is the piece that it cuts out. Okay, so you can use that. And what I was doing just before I went live was just putting these panels on to show you how you could use it just as a front. I'm going to put that on there. Like so. Let's get it straight. Like that. So that could go onto a card, and you could have a Merry Christmas across there. Obviously that on its own right is not particularly inspiring, but you could have a an image there, and you could put Merry Christmas in there. So, you know, think of using that in its own right as a backing. So there we go. That is more owls for you from the Have a Hoot stamp set and matching dies. Thank you so much for joining me. If you missed yesterday's, I had 2 sessions, one in the afternoon at 3 p.m. Both of these are available live and also on YouTube. and that was making these cute little Christmas cards using our 3" by 3" envelopes, like so. And then at 5 o'clock I did a run through of my paper shares and my embellishment shares. So if you want to see those in reality, then hop back to one of those from yesterday. So thanks for looking at my slightly wonky view today. So I will get that sorted, and I shall be back tomorrow, Thursday, at 7 p.m. for some more crafting. Thank you so much for joining me. Take care, look after yourselves, look after your loved ones, and I hope you can keep crafting. Thank you so much. Bye bye.